There are some realities in this world that we have no ability to change. There are some things, there are some realities that are true, they're always going to be true, and there's not much that we can do about it. What I want to dive into in this video is, what do you do when that's the case? How do you deal with a world where no matter what, there's going to be problems, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be circumstances that leave you knocked on your ass? How do you deal with that? What do you do when life is beating you down and you're feeling terrible about yourself, about your circumstances, about the reality of what's going on? What do you do when you're feeling sorry for yourself? What do you do when life inevitably beats the living hell out of you, because it always will? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bianca. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I've been working as a therapist for well over 6 years now. And I've seen this pattern over and over again. And if you're watching this, I'm sure you've had this happen to you too. Life is hard, as it's inevitably going to be. You're struggling, you're having a hard time, and someone just comes up to you and says, suck it up, stop complaining. Someone in Africa has it harder. This person is going through this. This person is going through that. Why are you complaining? You're being dramatic. Your problems don't matter. It happens so many times, we start believing it. We start getting in our own heads about our experiences. We start gaslighting ourselves into believing that we're not supposed to have feelings. We're not supposed to struggle. We're not supposed to talk about it. You're complaining too much. You're being dramatic. You're being annoying. How many of us have had that happen? How many of you have had the real reality happen where you're struggling and you're going through something, and instead of getting validation and nurturance and love and care like we all sincerely wish we could get, somebody, or even yourself, comes in and tells you, suck it up, get over it, you're too much, you're complaining too much, you're annoying, we don't want to deal with your problems. It happens all the time. Why? This is what I'm going to talk about, and this is where I'm going to get us started. So I'm going to dive into, number one, why it happens, and then a 3-step tool that you can start using today that I actually use with all of my clients to help them when they are struggling, so that you can get out of the struggle faster, so that you can have a game plan, and so that you can feel okay and confident in yourself, knowing that when struggle happens, you know what to do. So, number one, why does this happen? Why do people struggle to allow other people to feel bad? And why do we struggle letting ourselves feel bad? It's because we really struggle with vulnerability. We really struggle with this idea that we struggle. We really struggle with this idea that we're not supposed to have all the answers, that we have hard times, that we need other people, that we need help. It triggers this thing in us that makes us feel not good enough. It triggers this thing in us that makes us feel as though we're not capable of handling life. We're not capable of handling the challenges that life is going to throw at us. And so we don't want to have to feel that and experience it. So we just tell ourselves to suck it up and get over it, so we don't have to feel vulnerable, so that we don't have to feel weak or incompetent, because the narrative has been spewed in the most absurd, asinine way that you're not supposed to have negative feelings. If you were a good enough human, if you were competent enough, if you were capable enough, you wouldn't struggle. Tell me how that makes sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Why do we love movies where someone goes through a really hard struggle and then gets through it? Why do we feel so deeply for, animals. It's because vulnerability and struggle are realities, and there's a part of us deep, deep down that wants permission to feel it. But because we've been brainwashing ourselves and each other for however long that you just need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and get the fuck over it, we keep the pattern going. The pattern just continues over and over again. So we become these people who sincerely believe, I'm not supposed to struggle. I'm not supposed to complain. Because when other people hear you complain, it triggers that thing in them and they don't know what to do. So they either just try to give you a solution or they tell you to just suck it up. We struggle so deeply with vulnerability within ourselves and within others. We don't like being weak. We don't want to be perceived as weak. We don't want to sit in the discomfort of other people because it makes us so uncomfortable. And this is why this pattern keeps going over and over again. And this is why so many of us don't feel as though we have people. This is why so many of us feel as though we can be surrounded in a room full of people but still be alone. Because if I'm not allowed to share my truth, if I'm not allowed to share my hurt, if I'm not allowed to share my experiences, then what do I do? What do I do when I'm hurting and I go to someone and they tell me get over it? What do I do when I'm really facing difficulty and I don't feel safe enough to go to the people around me because I know that they struggle with vulnerability as well and they can't handle my suffering? They can't handle my pain because they can't handle their own. This is where courage is really going to come in. And this is where these 3 steps that I'm going to walk you through really come in. So make sure you stay onto the last one because the last one is what all of us are kind of pining for, but you have to go through number 1 and number 2 first to get to number 3. So make sure you stay until the end. So courage and vulnerability have a massive role to play in this. You have to be courageous enough to do it first, to model it to those around you so that they can meet you there, so that they can learn how to do it too through your actions. That's why something like a coach or a therapist or aligning yourself with people who are ahead of you is so important. We need to see other people do it in order for us to believe it's possible for us too. And we need to see people do it who we value or who we love for us to have enough proximity or closeness to that person for like the mirror neurons to start firing off for us to then say, oh, they did it. I can do it too. So make sure you have those people in your life. And if you don't, that's okay. You can become it. And this video will be a beautiful example of that because I've done this in my own life. For the longest time, I never felt safe enough talking about my problems because I was always called dramatic. I was made fun of and I was called a drama queen and a baby. And I remember somebody told me when I was young, go cry about it in your journal. Nobody gives a shit. Message sticks. You hear a message like that and it's like, oh, cool. I don't matter. My problems don't matter. I'm a burden. So that pierces you. And if you do these processes that I'm going to talk about, you'll be the change in the world that you need, the change in your world that you need. Because if you can model that, the people around you will want the same. Because number 1, they get the benefit of it from you. And then number 2, they're like, oh shit, I need to learn how to do this because I can't keep doing this and it's hurting me. So, how do you be okay feeling sorry for yourself? What do you do? Number 1, you have to let it be okay that you're struggling. This is where acceptance is really going to come in. Acceptance and coping with the challenges and the struggles that you're facing. So many of us, when we're struggling, we try to gaslight ourselves out of it. Oh, well, it's not that bad. And, this person is going through this and this person is going through that. So my problems aren't real. How many times can you do that before you really start believing that you're not enough, your problems and needs don't matter, and you need to just be quiet? That's what got us into this mess in the first place. That's what's keeping us trapped. Number one, you have to let it be okay that you're struggling because it doesn't make you weak that you're struggling. I talked about this in the previous video, talking about myths around mental health. It's okay to not be okay. We see all these people on social media acting like life is all fine and dandy and they don't have issues. Meanwhile, they're bawling their eyes out because they hate their lives, posting the photos that they're posting that they edited and are all AI modified. You have no idea what's actually going on behind the scenes in most people's lives. Most people are lying. Most people are pretending because they're going through these same challenges. They're going through these same difficulties. So they're not going to come to you and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually struggling really bad. And my entire social media feed, and even when you see me, it's actually all fake. If someone did that, I'd want to be their best friend because very few people do that. That takes massive amounts of vulnerability and courage. And we get to that place when we stop shaming each other for having issues, when we stop shaming ourselves and others for struggling and for having problems. It starts with you. It starts with you. Internal leadership, internal self love, internal humility. This is how we start. Tell yourself it's okay that you're having a hard time. And tell yourself until you're blue in the face, until you actually start to believe it. Watch videos like this that help you see it. It is okay. Let it be okay. Cry it out, journal it out, go for a drive, go out in nature, go do something that's going to allow you to feel how bad it is of what you're feeling. I don't care how small it is. All problems are real problems because they're problems in the context of our world. If I'm having a hard time, that is relevant to the context of my life. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I have 100% validity in what I'm experiencing, but I can't get to that step until and unless I let myself feel what I'm feeling. So that part of our brain stops like fighting us, trying to force us to continue feeling it. The more resistance you put on something, the harder it gets, the more difficult it gets. So do what you need to do to let it be okay. Not forever, but for a time. When you let it be okay, your parts, I'm going to use IFS language, your parts stop resisting because you actually feel validated. Validation does not mean that it's okay. Validation does not mean that it's right. Validation is, I am a human having an experience, and I see that. I see that I am having this struggle. I see I am having emotions, and that's okay because I'm human and we all struggle. Validate. Let it be okay. When you can do that, when you can let it be okay, when you stop gaslighting yourself into bullshit, when you actually give yourself permission to feel, this allows you to go into the problem solving phase, which is step number 2. Determine what it is that you need. Not all problems have solutions. We all know this, right? If your dog dies, you can't resurrect your dog. That'd be awesome if we could, right? But you can't. You can't bring people back from the dead. You can't, if you get laid off from your job because they're having massive layoffs, you can't go to the boss and ask them to rehire you if the company shuts down. There are certain issues and there are certain challenges, there are certain experiences that there are no solutions for. And there are some that there are. So when you have gone through step number one and you have given yourself the permission to feel what you're feeling, and your parts aren't on edge now because you actually feel validated and you have allowed yourself to believe and realize that your feelings matter and that you're a person and that means you matter, you can now figure out, okay, here's the problem that I'm having. What do I need? Is this something that has a direct solution? Or is this something that I'm going to need to learn how to accept and cope with and figure another workaround around? Step number two, determine what you need. So let's say you and your partner break up. Let's say you and your partner were together for a while and toward the end it got really rocky. Number one, let it be okay that you're sad about it. Breakups suck. Even if it's a wonderful relationship, even if it was a terrible relationship, if you were the one broken up with, or if you were the one who broke up with the person, it still sucks no matter what. Number one, make it okay. Once you have made it okay, determine step number two. Determine what you need. Do you want to get back together with this person? Is that the long term goal? Do you need to let it go and maybe go to therapy and get help? Do you need to date again? Maybe it was a really abusive relationship and now you believe that you're unlovable and you need to see if there's other things out there so you can get some pep in your step. What do you need? Is it solvable or not? Is there something that I directly can do in this circumstance, or do I need to figure out something else? This is why you need to make it okay first. Because if you don't make it okay and you try to go instantly into problem solving, you're going to try to go into that problem solving state with a lot of internal tension. And we don't make good decisions when we are highly emotional because it completely bypasses the logic part of our brain that's actually able to execute. How many of us have been really upset, but we have like a fitness goal, let's say we're trying to lose weight, and because we're really upset and we can't think clearly, we just go for the food. More times than I want to admit, but we do it. Why? Because that part of our brain is bypassed, because our emotions are so heavy and we struggle feeling our emotions. Again, because of number one, we are not supposed to feel things, that we make rash decisions. So if you do number one, you let it be okay. You do number two, you determine what you need. Now you can go into execution mode. If there is a solution to this problem, now you strategize. Okay, if that's my goal, what do I have to do in order to achieve that? Do I need to go to the person and have a conversation? Do I need to, I don't know, let's say your car breaks down. Do I need to go find a mechanic? Do I need to, develop a skill? Do I need to look and see what other alternative solutions there are out there? There's 25 different ways to figure it out, right? Every problem has a bunch of solutions if it's a solvable problem. But what about the problems that don't have solutions? This is where a change in mindset and or a change in perspective really comes in. Let's say someone passes away. Let's say, you lose your job and now you have to move and you really don't want to. This is a mindset shift. This is a change in perspective. You need to learn how to change the way you think about it or change the way you feel about it. Give yourself an alternative message. This is where things like acceptance and commitment therapy come in, or CBT to help you to develop a new understanding or new thoughts about the circumstances, a reframe. Kiki Palmer actually had a video come out. It was hilarious. It was so cute. She's like, I'm the queen of the reframe. Anything that happens, boom, this is for my best interest. I freaking hate the phrase everything happens for a reason because working as a therapist, you hear the most gruesome stories ever. You can't tell that person it happened for a reason because there is no reason most of the time. There's no reason, there's no good reason why someone is assaulted or someone is attacked. It's so invalidating. I've never felt validated when someone's like, everything happens for a reason. Tell me the reason. What reason? That's bullshit. But you can give it a reason. You can change the way you see the circumstances. You can change what you tell yourself about it. Not gaslighting yourself, not trying to make something fluffy feel good when it's not, but actually trying to help yourself to see, is there something in this that could be good? Is there something in this that I can utilize to my advantage? It's the difference between being resilient and being anti-fragile. Being resilient means I just get through things. Being anti-fragile means I can go through circumstances and regardless of how difficult they are, I can get better. Or PTSD versus PTG. So post-traumatic stress disorder versus post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic stress disorder is this thing happened to me and now my life is destroyed forever. Post-traumatic growth is this really significant thing happened to me. And from that, I am going to learn and get better and grow so that it never happens again, so that I'm more equipped. If you follow these 3 steps, if you let it be okay, if you allow yourself to determine what you need because you actually let yourself feel, and then you determine what you need to do as a byproduct of that, feeling bad about yourself will never actually, or feeling sorry for yourself will never actually be a thing that you feel upset about because you know I need to let myself feel it so that I can do something. And I have now become the type of person that will do something about it. I'm not just going to sit here and feel sorry for myself forever and do nothing, which is what we're afraid of. But if you follow these 3 steps, let yourself feel it, figure out what it is that you need, and then figure out a way to go get that need met, you'll never have to worry about it. Feeling bad will never be a bad thing because you know I will figure it out. I will get myself to a better place, no matter what. How many of our lives would be so much better if we knew this earlier? Or if we had people in our life that actually helped us to feel like it's okay? How many of us wouldn't be suffering in silence because we don't have people who actually help us when times are hard? Most of us are suffering in silence. And it's why we just perpetually feel sorry for ourselves and why things don't change and then why problems persist over and over again. Give yourself the permission slip that you need. Let it be okay. Let the struggle be okay. Let the hurt be okay. It doesn't mean that it's 100% right. But gaslighting yourself and berating yourself isn't going to make it right either. Give yourself permission to feel it. Figure out, once you have given yourself that permission slip, how accurate is this? And is there something I can do? And then find a way to go do it. Easier said than done, because a lot of us haven't had any practice with this. This is why I always say, and I will always say in these videos, you need to get a therapist or a coach, someone who has done this, someone who has a track record that you believe in, who can help you to navigate your way through this. I only became the type of person that could do this because I did that. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 16, and I've had a therapist for the last couple of years. I've also had a coach. And working with them has allowed me to become the type of person that I am, that I can now help people do the same thing. It's possible for me, it's possible for you. The question then becomes, are you going to give yourself the permission to do it? Are you courageous enough? Are you bold enough? Do you actually want the life that you consistently say that you do? Or are you going to continuously live a life where you're feeling sorry for yourself, but you're not actually doing anything about it? I know that's not what you want. Send me a DM. Let's connect. And I guarantee that I can help you get to that place that you want to be at. And if it's not me, then go do someone else. Go work with somebody else. But find someone. And if you liked this video, please like, put a comment down below, subscribe, and let me know how this resonated with you. Let me know, where you've struggled in this process and what's helped you. Can't wait to hear from you, and I will see you next time.